Continuing off from the last episode where I created a incubator setup, I'm giving Rancher the critter ranching skills that they're going to need. I certainly don't have enough meat to be able to feed all my dupes at the moment, so anytime I see some blossom, so I'm going to put a lamp there to allow them to be able to grow. I can only grow wild ones at the moment. If I plant anything, my Locavore achievement is not going to be possible. Next thing that I've done is I built a washroom and some showers. That's going to up morale a little bit. Storing polluted water in the reservoirs, deal with that later. But the main thing I'm happy about is dupes aren't going to waste time plunging the outhouse. I've noticed that the air was getting a little thin in parts, so I built two additional oxygen diffusers, one at the top and bottom of the base. Also having fire pole installed along the ladder to increase the transportation speed, at least in the downward direction. Okay, so this is where most of my time is going to be for some 50 some cycles. Every cycle, I want to come in here and I want to choose the eggs that don't have the lullaby effect to them, select them, hit sweep, and that's going to mark a dupe to later on come put that through the dispenser there and drop it in the floor below, where eventually my rancher, I'll spend time with them, locking them in that room and getting them to lullaby some eggs. Told the incubator to process an egg. I'm just going to wait for one of the ranchers to walk in there. And when they do, I'm going to lock the door. So they're stuck in there. So they're going to complete this process until we're done, or they're just at the end of the cycle and they're hungry, and I'll let them go if that's the case. But so I'm getting them to do an egg at a time. So they put it inside the incubator. Give it a little hug. That's going to give the incubation or the lullaby effect even when it's out. I'm going to get that sweep because I don't want them to reprocess it. I want them to dump that on the floor below somewhere so they don't have access. And then they can put in another egg. So this is going to happen again and again and again. That will last, each egg will last for one cycle. So I'm going to have to do this every single day because the idea is I want these eggs to hatch really quickly. We need to get the carnivore. I'm not just trying to get the locavore. I'm trying to get all achievements. But in order to get the carnivore, I need to be able to get meat within 100 cycles. So the lullaby effect is really going to help. Anyway, all that to say, I'm not going to show this again and again in this video. I'm going to have a couple automation tips. Anytime I change this room, I'll show this. But going forward, just know every single cycle that goes by, I'm doing this. And I won't show that unless there's a change. I just built an electric grill, and I'm going to have meat turned into a barbecue, upping morale value that we can get from it. But I'm also converting 3,200 calories of food into 4,000, which is much better. It's cycle 20, 1/5 of the way there towards cycle 100, when I have to be able to consume the 100,000 calories of meat. How am I doing so far with these with the carnivore? Not even 1,000, my 400,000, but I'm a fourth of the way with the locavore, so I'm not concerned. That's pretty good so far. Okay, so minor optimization here, but I'm bringing in a light with a sensor to be able to turn that on when ranchers in the area so that they don't have to hug in the dark, because that's a thing. Cook is going to get the grilling 2 skill. So it's starting to consume more power. So I brought in a transformer with a smart battery to turn it off when it's not needed. And what I'm doing here is I have 2 circuits. I've got a main circuit for most of my stuff, including the manual generators and the incubator and batteries, and the smaller circuit is for some of the smaller lights around the base. I previously set a maximum 7 critters in each ranch. I'm upping that to 8 now, expecting my dupes to very quickly take eggs out as they get laid in that ranch. Engineer will get improved carrying 2, and scientist will get the applied science. Just moving some water that is in my way that I'll be able to want to build stuff in the future. So my dupes have found some other eggs other than hatches. Might as well process those because I can get meat out of those, as long as they're not the shine bugs, which you wouldn't get any meat from. This is the moment I have been waiting for. The first hatch exists that doesn't have a spot for it to go in one of the 2 ranches, so I'm getting my dupes to convert that into meat. Cook will then convert that into barbecue, and I'll start getting points towards the carnivore and even the locavore achievement. making sure that cook and whoever is going to use the rock crusher has light while they're operating. I'm taking the time to test to make sure that I'm going to get points for eating barbecue meat with the Carnivore achievement, because otherwise there's no point in having a cook. It'd be a shame because I'm able to convert 3,200 calories into 4,000. Well, let's watch. They've got. Oh, they don't even have barbecue. Why did you not choose barbecue? It's a much tastier thing. Let's get Cook to go over, grab that, and watch what happens. So Cook is all sore face about this. I don't understand why. Just increase their quality of food, but whatever. So they're consuming food. Let's just wait till they walk away from the table. I'll go into the colony summary and just see if there was a change in the calories. There was. Okay, so I can eat barbecue meat, which is awesome. Bringing in a new dupe that has the diver's lungs property, so that's awesome. They also can do some decorating in the future for us. I just installed a sweeper to take eggs that come out of the incubator, and it seems to work all right, except for the fact that until the dupes pick that up, it's in a bit of an infinite loop, oddly enough. And I don't know if it's grabbing it in the air or if it's grabbing it in a distance it can't reach, but anyway. So now I've got two sweepers in there. I no longer have to have anyone in that middle room. So I actually have the door blocked off, preventing any dupes from going in there. I'm just going in and selecting all the eggs that don't have the lullaby effect, clicking on the sweep button. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but I'm not going to have to do this forever. It's not about my ultimate food production. This is just about ensuring that I can get the carnivore achievement soon and out of the way. Once I've selected all the eggs that I want to have processed, clicking on the incubator and incubating a single egg. So the sweeper then is going to grab just the eggs that I want it to be dropped down. It's going to pull those into the automatic dispenser and those will be dropped down, and eventually I'll have, actually we can even see the rancher bringing or catching one of the hatches, which is excellent. So the rancher went in. I'm going to close that room off. Now this process is easier than before. So I can click on incubate and then remove. And I no longer have to sweep myself. The automatic sweeper is set up to do that. So I can just click this button on and off. I have to stay in the room. I'll have to occasionally change different ag type, but at least part of this step has been removed for me to be able to do this. If you're going to set this up for yourself, just make sure the sweeper that is on the bottom does not have access to the egg that is being dropped. It only has access to egg that's coming out of the incubator. So that's why I've got a certain distance away. Also make sure that the automatic dispenser, that is now going to have setting of put all critter eggs, regardless if they're swept or not. Make sure that the rancher or any other dupes for that matter don't have access to that machine. One nice thing about this setup is I actually don't need to worry about food storage because I choose when those get turned into meat, and therefore they'll be consumed before they go bad. I've got a water pitch that's close to the research station, and I'm filling that with water so my dupes don't have to travel so much when they want to fill it up. Cycle 33, I'm halfway done the Locavore achievement, and the Carnivore I've eaten almost 29,000 calories of meat. So now I've got a conveyor loader set up next to each of the ranches with a sweeper. And the idea here is anytime any egg is laid, it can be immediately pulled out. So I don't have to have my dupes do that and have that happen right away, which is really nice. I no longer need this automatic dispenser, saving a bit of work. And the other nice thing is I've actually decided to drop this egg. So I've done the same thing next to the incubator, which is nice, again, saving a little bit of work. And I've decided to drop the eggs off in two spots because the one that's on the left comes from the hatchery. They're always going to be, no, they're never going to have the, actually, wait a minute. Why don't I just literally drop it like right in the, yeah, okay, I'll make that change. So you know what? I'm just going to have those eggs immediately drop there because I know they don't have the lullaby effect. The other eggs are going to go up there and some of them will have their lullaby effect expired and I can filter through that. There we go. With more automation in the mix, I hope you'll join me this next episode where we can see these achievements through.